Hey everybody, and welcome back. Glad you could make it for another video. And today we're going to be having some fun. We are going to be doing our What's for Dinner video for this week. So sit back, relax, and let me give you some dinner ideas to make life a little easier. Hello family and friends, I'm Susan, and welcome to my home. Okay, and here is this week's menu board. Monday, we're going to be having easy chili. Tuesday is Fiesta Chicken Casserole. Wednesday is creamy Crockpot garlic pork chops. Thursday's Jambalaya. Friday, we will be eating out. Saturday, we'll probably be at the fair. And Sunday is chicken pot pie. All right, everybody, let's get ready to make some easy chili because it's Monday. Hey everybody, it's Susan, and it's Monday night, and it's time for an easy, quick meal to get on the stove and get off really quick, less than 30 minutes. Some of my easy chili. I've made a video on it before, and we're going to do it real quick tonight. That way we'll have some good chili to munch on while it's cooler outside. So, ponytail's already up. Let's get to cooking. And we're going to make some easy chili tonight. I've done this recipe for a video before. It's real easy. You need, it says some oil. I don't never use it. 1 pound of hamburger meat that I'm going to brown up and drain. 1 can of diced tomatoes. 1 can of chili beans, and I do like the medium. And then 1 packet of chili spices, and I use the original McCormick's chili. It's my favorite. It's the best tasting one, I tell you. Do need a little bit of sour cream and whatever you want to put on it, cheese and stuff. But let's get this browned up, drained, and then we'll put the rest of it together. And it doesn't take but just a little bit to put together, but then you got to let it cook for just a few minutes. But we'll be back with the rest. I've browned the hamburger meat. I'm going to be adding in the diced tomatoes. I'm going to be adding in the can of chili beans, which I'm already spilling. But I had it over it. And the packet of McCormick, let's see if I can get it all in there, McCormick chili sauce and chili spice. Okay, now what I'm going to do is stir all this around. Now if you like the milder chili spice, you can get the milder. I don't actually like the hot in the McCormick. I think it doesn't taste as good as the regular, and you know I love spice. There's just something about the flavor of this regular. You can always add more heat to it once you get it in the bowl. But this is what I call easy chili. Now, I'm going to put this on low for about 20 to 30 minutes, and I'm just going to put it on low, and I'm going to cover it. And as you can see, it's already boiling. And it's going to release some of its juices, especially from the tomatoes, and make it just a little bit juicier. But we'll come back in about 20 minutes and see how this looks. And 20 minutes later, here it is. Look at that look at that chili. The tomatoes have cooked down. The beans are nice and soft. And it's ready to be served up in a bowl. Let's get it plated. Okay, and I'm going to put some in the bowl here. It does have a little bit of juice in it, but I've got a slotted spoon, which is not letting me get much of the juice out. There we go. All right. I'm going to add a little bit of onion on top. I've got some minced onion that I'm going to put on top. And, of course, some of my big bag of Mexican cheese, which I did have to buy another bag. As you know, I go through it. Love my Mexican cheese. And a little bit of sour cream. There you go. Easy chili. That's what's for supper tonight. Hey everybody, it's Susan, and it's Tuesday night. And tonight we are gonna have Fiesta Chicken Casserole. Quick, easy, simple, Taco Tuesday, but not quite a taco. So let me get my ponytail up and let's get to cooking. Here is the recipe real quick. I'm going to need 2.5 cups of rotini pasta. It's uncooked, and then you cook it, and that's how much you get. And then we're going to be needing some spray to spray the pan. We're going to be using a 9x13 baking pan or baking dish. Some taco seasoning, some cumin, some garlic powder, onion powder, some corn, some black beans, 2 cups of my Mexican blend cheese, and we're also going to need 2.5 cups of cooked chicken. I've got that in the Instant Pot, and it's already done. I'm waiting for it to depressurize so I can get it out and get it all nice and shredded, because it says 2.5 cups cooked chicken. So I think I've got just about everything, other than I got to get some sour cream and salsa out of the fridge, and we can get this put together. I'm going to put those in the water, get them boiled up, and then we'll assemble everything. Just got through with making the pasta. I've got the chicken. I'm going to go ahead and add 1 cup of sour cream to a bowl right here. And I'm going to add some salsa. It says 1 cup of salsa. This is about 1 cup of salsa. It's chunky salsa medium. I would have used Rotel, but I had this in the fridge and needed to use it up. So I'm going to go ahead and use this. Pour that whole thing in. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and stir it up just a little bit. There we go. Now we need to add the taco seasoning, which is, I believe, 2 tablespoons of taco seasoning. I'm just going to go ahead and get my 2 tablespoon measurement. And of course, my big thing of taco seasoning. Can't remember if it's 2 or 1.5, so I'm going to do almost 2. As you know, we love our taco seasoning. Okay. We're going to do 1/2 teaspoon of cumin. Okay. Okay. 1/2 teaspoon of cumin. 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder. And 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder. All that's in there ready to roll. And once I added all that to the bowl and then looked, I'm going to have to add my noodles in and stuff, I thought, I need a big bowl. So I got my humongous bowl out. So right here's the humongous bowl. Now we need to add a can of whole kernel corn. A can of black beans, which I have rinsed and drained. So hopefully shouldn't have too much black bean stuff in the bottom. The chicken, which made about 2.5 cups of chicken, which is right here. Okay, and I added 1 cup of the Mexican shredded cheese. So now I need to add in the noodles also. And right here they are. So let's get those in the pan, or in the big old container here. Let me stir this around until the noodles get completely covered in the sauce with everything else. And I kind of did it backwards. You're supposed to put this in right after sour cream, but you know, that's just the way life goes. And it looks like it's going to make a big bunch, so we'll have plenty to eat on after. I'm going to pour it into the dish. Now I'm going to spread it out real good. And I am going to top it with the remainder of the cheese that I had, which is about 1.5 cups or so. I'm going to cover this in tin foil. I'm going to put it in the oven for 20 minutes. So I'll see you back in 20 minutes, and we're going to uncover it and put it back in so all this can get a little bit crispier. Here's what it looked like when it came out. I've uncovered it. I'm going to add some more cheese to it and put it back in the oven for additional 5 minutes. Okay, I've just added some more cheese. I'm about to put it in the oven. Okay, let's give it 5 more minutes and then we'll be ready to eat. And after 5 additional minutes in the oven, look at this. Cheese is nicely melted. Everything is nicely done. It's time to get a plate and serve it up. Okay. I'm going to go into the side and see if I can get a little bit of a cheese pull. I don't know if you can see it. It's definitely a cheese pull. That chicken, the noodles, the cheese. That is good. Okay. Let it cool just a second. I'm going to try to take a bite of this. Doesn't that look good? Let me try to cool this off just a little bit. Look at that. Doesn't that look good? And there's cheese stringing everywhere. Really good. I'm gonna have to put a little bit of hot sauce on it. It ain't spicy enough for me, but y'all know that. But it is really good. You've got to try it. So good. Okay, and it's Wednesday morning. It's time for a Crockpot meal. I am going to be doing Crockpot creamy garlic pork chops with mushrooms and potatoes. And what you'll need for that is, it says 4 to 5 pork loins or pork chops. And I just have 2, one for me and one for Danny, but they're big. They're nice sized ones, and they're still kind of frozen. Actually, there's 3 in there, but they're still kind of frozen, so I might have to have a time to get them apart. 2 cups of mushrooms, which I'm just going to use the canned mushrooms. A medium onion, it says minced, I just diced it up. A tablespoon of olive oil or butter, I'm going to use butter. 6 cloves of garlic, which I'm going to use minced garlic. 1 cup of heavy whipping cream. 4 ounces of cream cheese, which I do have it right over there, cut in half. Half a cup of chicken broth, I've got to make some. 3/4 cup of grated Parmesan. I'm actually going to be using the 5 cheese Italian blend. And some Italian seasoning. And that's all I need. I've got to chop the potatoes, which it calls for 1.5 pounds of yellow potatoes, which I'm just going to use what I've got. I think 3 will be fine by the time I chop them up. It says peeled and diced. So let me go ahead and get those, and then I've got to warm my pork chops up in the frying pan and get a little bit of the base made. And I'll be back whenever I get started. And I put my 1 tablespoon of butter in. I'm going to add my garlic in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It says 6 cloves of garlic, which is about 6 teaspoons. It says then, stir it around a second, to add the heavy cream. I'm going to do next. Alright, heavy cream. Add the 4 ounces of cream cheese, which I'm just going to pop it in there real quick and let it start melting down. Which is half a cup of chicken broth, which I'm going to use my chicken bouillon, half a teaspoon, and add about half a cup of water. And here goes the chicken broth mixture. All right. Now it says to let that simmer for about 10 minutes. While I'm searing off my pork chops, I'm going to go ahead and add in the 1 tablespoon of Italian seasoning. I've let this simmer for about 10 minutes. So there's that. 3/4 cup of the Italian blend cheese is what I'm going to add in. And then I'm going to whisk it. Okay, I'm going to whisk it until smooth. So that's getting there. Alright. And my pork chops are getting a little bit of a sear on them. So they're about ready to put in the crock pot. And I'm going to go ahead and layer the potatoes. The potatoes go on bottom. I'm going to go ahead and put them down as a layer on the very bottom. And then I'm going to toss the onions in. It says to sear them off and all that good stuff. I don't have time for that this morning. Pour the onions in. And then I'm going to put the pork chops in. I've got a little sear on them. I'm going to try to spread them out to where they cover as much space as possible and lay as flat as possible. Now, I'm going to add the cream sauce on top, which is really thick and cheesy, but that's okay. That's a good thing. I'm going to put the onions in, I mean not the onions, but the mushrooms in whenever I get home today, because I am just using canned mushrooms, because I am not a humongous fan of regular mushrooms. All right. We've got all that done. That's in there. Everything's in. We're going to cook this for 6 to 8 hours on low, and then we'll come back whenever I get off work and we'll see what we look like. Hey everybody, and it's Wednesday, and you saw me put the pork chops in the crock pot this morning. I had a little bit I had to do with them beforehand and then pop it all in the crock pot. And I've come home and I'm about to put the cans of mushroom, or the jars of mushrooms, in the crock pot. It's been cooking all day and it smells really good. So my ponytail's already up. Let's get the mushrooms in so we can eat. Let's see if I can release this thing and not steam up the lens. All right, now I'm going to turn it on just warm. I'll probably turn it off because we don't even need it on. I'm going to go ahead and add the mushrooms in. And then I'm going to stir it around just a little bit. So there's that. Get the mushrooms down in that goodness down there. Uh-oh, and the pork chops are falling apart. That's okay. All right. Ooh, there's a piece of pork chop. I may have to take me a little taste-a-rooney here in a minute, because that fell off. But that's okay. That's mine to eat. And let's get this plated up. I know we've got potatoes on the bottom. So let me see if I can get one whole pork chop for Danny. Here we go. Look at that. Awesome. Get some of the potatoes on the bottom. And the mushrooms. And let me get a little bit of that juice. Go over the pork chop. Look at that. All right. Garlic smothered pork chops and potatoes. That is what's for supper tonight. Isn't that beautiful looking? And I'm going to tell you, it is dang good. I think this is my favorite way to eat pork chops now. You definitely gotta make it. So awesome. Hey everybody, it's Susan here. And tonight is Thursday night. And we are going to have some jambalaya. Quick, easy, out of a box. Just add the meat and stuff. You know how that goes. My ponytail's already up, so let's get to cooking. And for my basic jambalaya, I just use the instructions on the box, basically, and add the meats I want to, and I also add some kidney beans into it. Drain them, rinse them, and put them in at the very end. But I'll tell you about that. I've already defrosted a Polska kielbasa. I've got some chicken that's been defrosted, so it is ready to go. And I'm about to put it all in a pot. Boil the chicken first, and then we'll get it cut up, and we'll add the rice and everything else. Let's add all the components real quick. I have 2½ cups of hot water right there. I need to add in 2 tablespoons of either oil or, my favorite thing, butter. Y'all know it. So I'm going to be adding in 2 tablespoons of, or 2 pats of butter in there. Next thing we're going to do is add in the rice. We're going to add in the seasoning packet from the jambalaya mix. And yes, this is Dolly brand, and it's good too. Spice mix, I'm going to add in the chicken that I boiled real quick and then cut up with the scissors, of course, because you know I like to do it quick. And a whole Polska kielbasa. I've just basically cut it up into small pieces, and it's going to go in too. Now, I've got everything incorporated now. So I'm just going to basically stir it just a minute so that everything gets coated in that beautiful seasoning. And as you can see, you could add shrimp to this. I'm not going to tonight. It's just going to be the chicken and the jambalaya. That's the way we're rolling tonight. I'm going to go ahead and turn this up to high. Let it boil. And then I'm going to turn it down to low. And then I'm going to cover it and let it cook for about 25 minutes is what it says to. But I'm going to do it for only 20 because at 20 minutes, we're going to add the red beans. That way they get 5 minutes of cooking time. So I've got this on high. I'm going to let it boil, cover it, turn it down to low, or number 2, basically is what I'm thinking I'm going to put it on. Between 2 and low. And then turn on a 20-minute timer. And then we'll add the red beans, 5 minutes, and we'll be done. It's been 20 minutes now. And that's getting there, but it still has a little liquid in it, and that's what you want. Because I'm going to add in the kidney beans and mix them in. And they're going to cook for another 5 minutes, and then all this should be ready to eat. So let me get this mixed in real quick. All right. Cook on low for 5 more minutes, and then we'll be ready to eat. And it's been 5 additional minutes. Everything is cooked up. The rice has absorbed pretty much every bit of the liquid that's in here. The red beans should be cooked. They should be still a little bit of a bite in them, but not, you know, raw, basically. And I'm going to go ahead and get this plated up. I like mine in a bowl. Danny likes his on a plate. It's all whatever way you want it. Look at that. Jambalaya. And I know this is good, and I'm not going to taste it right now because it's so hot. Just came out of the thing. But this is a family favorite. Try it. Add some shrimp to it. Usually we just do the sausage and the chicken unless we're having a big bunch of people over, and then we will add some shrimp to it. But it's awesome. Try it. I hope you've enjoyed this week's What's for Dinner. 4 easy weeknight meals that you can make and 1 crockpot meal. Next week, I think I'm going to try for 4 crockpot meals since it is Crocktober. And you can make a good filling meal that you can come home to in the crockpot and just take out and serve. Maybe add a little rice or add a little something to it, and it's awesome. If you haven't already, please subscribe. We would love for you to be a part of our channel's family. Until next time, see you then. Please like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram or Pinterest and comment on these videos. And let our family be a part of your family.